Joining us now, Southern District Commissioner of the Mississippi Public Service Commission, Dane Maxwell. Mr. Commissioner, how you doing today, sir?
Good, sir. How you doing?
Doing great. So my understanding is in perusing your website last week, the PSC website, you guys had a public hearing scheduled for this morning at 10 a.m. to discuss these new net metering rules recently adopted by the PSC. Can you give us an update on that?
Well, not really a lot transpired. We did have some good people talk to us and give us their opinions and things, so the public comments was really good. We had about 20 people there. They gave some good comments, and then we took it under advisement.
Okay. So give us a little background. I shared this with the audience last week. Best I could tell, there was some money available, right, to install solar panels, rooftop solar panels. And within that pool of money, 50%, as I recall, was carved out specifically for low-income households, low-income communities. And then as part of the net metering rules, where the utility companies essentially purchased back excess power generated by residents, there was actually a premium assigned to households, again, that fit into that low-income category. I want to say 250% of the federal poverty level was the threshold there. Did I accurately describe that?
You did, and we had that discussion. Just the other two commissioners voted for it. I didn't vote for it simply because with the rates that are going up now, those subsidies would be paid on the backs of the other ratepayers,
right? And
it wouldn't be free money. They have the right to get their money back, so they would be paying $3,000 to each person that did it, along with a rate that would be profitable for them to make money off the system. And just doesn't set well with me when we're in hard times like this. People are already having hard time paying their power bills, and they're going to keep going up with the costs associated nationally with the short supply chain that we have. All aspects of what we have in our life because of this administration is going to cause these to rise. And I'm certainly not interested in doing anything to contribute to adding to the fire, so to speak.
Yeah. Because
my job is to try to lower the rates and keep the utilities functioning safe. And so that's the reason that I voted the way that I did.
So these subsidies, I think you stated it was $3,000, right, per household available to a household to install rooftop solar panels. What's the source of funding of that, Commissioner?
It comes people like utilities. Entergy. They would have to pay that,
okay,
and then they would have to raise the rates to offset that.
I see.
They're going to have to push money back. And they're going to be giving away free money to these people, and the other ratepayers are going to be paying for it. So it's like, you got 0.01 or 2% of the people with solar, and I don't even think it's that. I think it's like 0.001% is solar, and then this is going to drive interest because it pays them to do it. But when they get their rates up, it's all going to be funded back by Entergy, and they're just going to have to raise the rates, cover their cost of subsidies.
Well, was this idea, did it emanate from Entergy, from the utility company, or is this something that the PSC came up with?
Well, not the whole PSC, but the other commissioners were interested in getting it done, and this is how it all worked out with the utilities. And the utilities initially filed a lawsuit to try to prevent it from happening, but now they seem to have changed that, and so we're just going to have to see how it plays out.
Well, I'm assuming then that the PSC is empowered with this sort of authority where they can just, I guess, implement some sort of rule, some sort of policy that requires the utility companies to engage in this subsidy practice, this subsidy program. You go to them. The PSC says, "Hey, you guys got to pay households $3,000 if they meet the qualifications with respect to installation of solar panels."
It's crazy. And we'll look at doing some legislation after this. Like I said, they outvoted me. We'll see where it goes. You know me. I'm gonna be all over this.
Yeah. Well, it's an expense to the utility companies that they're going to try to recover, as you indicated, and they're going to do that in the form of increasing their rates. But then they got to get permission from your organization to do that.
Well, they passed this rule. It's sitting out there now. We'll see what happens. It's going back and forth, but the reality is this is just a bad rule, and it creates. It creates a problem for us giving out free money. And let's be honest, this whole we're doing it for the low-income families. I mean, you can't go. A low-income family can't go out and pay $60,000 for a set of solar panels, and even with the rebates, they can't afford it. It's not going to go to the poor people aren't going to benefit from this at all.
Yeah,
they may tell you it's going to, but I don't know. I can't. I don't have $60,000 to put solar panels on my house.
Yeah, I hadn't priced it, and I'll take your word for it. I know it's not cheap. I mean, so here's the deal. It's 250% of the federal poverty level. A family of four, that's about $62,000 a year of household income. You're talking about the equivalent of their entire annual household income as an investment in solar panels. I'm thinking that a family of four that's 250% of the FPL has got a lot of other things to be worried about than solar panels.
We got bigger problems, but I can tell you that there's a reason there's only a handful of people in Mississippi that have them. And those people are embracing this rule simply because they get an elevated rate back, so they're not only reducing their power bill, but they're making money off of it.
Yeah.
We don't need to buy any retail power from anybody. We have an abundance of power now. If we need any, we go to the market and we get it wholesale. This is just not a smart business decision.
Well, so really it sounds like, though, Commissioner, the only way to address this issue is with legislation.
That's going to be the next step. Now, I'm also looking at the solar for schools.
Yeah.
That's something that they brought up. I'm going to be watching that and see what they bring to me on that, and I'll let you know how that works out. My interest is on the solar for schools. What I would say is the money that they save, if we do this for schools, the money that school saves, it's going to have to go back into a fund for teacher pay raises.
Yeah.
That's the only way I'm going to do it.
Okay. I get it. That sounds reasonable. And look, I don't think you do either, but I don't have any aversion to renewable energy sources and use of solar panels if someone wants to do that. I have a concern when the government steps in, just as this Inflation Reduction Act, which is really nothing but a green energy bill, the left's dream, if you will, recently passed at the federal level. It's got subsidies in it for installation of solar panels and electric hot water heaters and upgrading electrical panels to accommodate more electrical devices and systems in the house. It's already got all that in it. I don't really, I guess, get why the state of Mississippi had to get involed and layer onto that.
Well, and that's really just a big subsidy. It's a giveaway. It's a Green New Deal program. They even said that in the hearing today. Several people said, part of the Green New Deal. And I'm not supporting that either. And like I said, the solar for schools, we'll look and see how that plays out.
Sure.
But if it benefits the teachers, where we can give them more money, then I'll be supporting that.
Yeah.
Short of that, I'm not supporting any of it, and we'll be working on legislation across the street.
All right.
When this is over.
Well, we appreciate you coming on. I know that it was a tight schedule. Appreciate you accommodating us, and I know we'll be talking to you more about this. Commissioner Dane Maxwell, the Southern District Public Service Commissioner in Mississippi. Thanks for coming on, Dane.
Oh, thanks for the invite. I appreciate you.
You got it. We'll step aside for a break right here, another segment, and then after the top of the hour, it's Empower Mississippi founder and CEO Grant.